Could someone say if they can hear me or not? Hello from Spain. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Thank you very much. Thank you. Bienvenido. Hello from Canada. Bonjour, depending where you are in Canada, I guess. Okay, let me make a start and then I think people will drift in. Get yourself comfortable and pull up a cup of tea while I sort of do the introduction, and then we'll go straight into the webinar. So, hello and welcome. Thank you very, very much for taking your time to join us today. I know it's kind of a PR planning season, so your calendars are probably filled up with refinement and everything else you need to do. So, really appreciate you guys being here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Justin Oki. I'm obviously from Kendis. I work closely with customers across planning, delivery, and on how Kendis fits into the real world scaled environments and how it actually gets used in a way that provides value. I'm also joined today by my colleague, who many of you will already know. Shaq is deeply involved on the customer success side and works very closely with our customers and our support team. I guess he turns real life problems into practical capabilities. You can wave, Shaq,
Thank you.
to your audience and fans. Okay, guys, today's session is part of our Kindis Spotlight series. We will be having more of these, so stay tuned. And the focus of today is very simple and very exciting, I have to say. So AI finally arrives in Kindis. But before I go on, there's just a couple of things that I need to make sure that you are aware of. You can type your questions directly into Zoom. I have no idea where it is in Zoom, but hopefully you'll figure that out. Our support team will be there to be able to answer any questions. And at the end of the demos, we will take questions. So even if you don't figure it out, we will take questions at the end. We'll unmute you and you can ask the questions live. And lastly, at the end of this, you'll get a survey. It's just a couple of questions, kind of how did the webinar go and maybe what you're looking forward to with AI. Hopefully that works. It's the first time that we've used Zoom on here, so let's see how that goes. Okay, so and today, as I say, it's AI arrives in Kendis. We will be showing what's changing, how we're evolving around AI, and how we are enhancing key areas to gain better context, visibility, and broader insights. You're going to hear the word context a lot, I think, during this webinar, but I'm sure that you will all know why and you'll understand why. But basically, gaining them in those key areas without losing the structure and the way of working that we depend on. So why AI and why here? AI, as I say, is not new anymore. It's fantastic what it can do, but most of us use it daily, whether we admit it or not. We use it for emails. We use it to explain ourselves. We use it to interpret what colleagues mean when they send the emails. We use it for features, writing, many things. But the real question is, where does AI actually belong in agile delivery without breaking everything around it? So today, Kendis sits in a very specific place. We already provide structure across PR planning, execution, and in other areas as well, dependencies, risks, objectives, reporting. And that's why Kendis works. It doesn't replace your ALM tools like your Jira, your ADO. It just gives them context of what's missing when you start to scale. ALM tools are excellent at managing individual work, as you guys know. You've got your epics, you've got your features, your stories, and so on. And each of them have their own life cycle and ownership in the ALM, but those items live in isolation. With ALM, you don't naturally understand the bigger picture. And methodologies such as SAFe and other scaling methodologies give us concepts, dependencies, objectives, roam in the risks, milestones, features per PI, and so on. But in practice, each of these elements lives its own life. They are discussed in different meetings, tracked in different places, reviewed at different times, even by different people. So what that means in practice is that the context gets lost. For example, dependencies tracked separately from objectives. But surely you would want to know, in the context of your objectives, what dependencies that you have. Risks live outside of delivery data and they are tracked by different roles. Features move independently of milestones. Stories are completed, features are completed, but the intent behind them fades. Each artifact has its own journey and nothing owns the narrative of the plan as a whole. It's not to say that you don't need these artifacts and concepts. In fact, you actually do. The opposite is true. They're necessary, but very often we ask people who are providing us with a plan for how to build something of value to the organization to suddenly switch gears and create artifacts and then expect them to land in the right context for stakeholders. And nowhere is this more obvious than in the creation of PI objectives, where we ask teams to take a complex plan and articulate intent, outcomes, and priorities in a very short space of time. That's where Kendis has started its AI journey, using AI to assist with the creation of objectives. So in your Kendis today, you will be able to see PEI planning, creation of objectives. You'll be able to use features to be able to create your objectives. Shaq is going to demonstrate. I'm going to hand this over to Shaq to share his screen and demonstrate in a second. But you're able to edit it. You're able to just do it inside that objective area. And the good thing is that it populates in Canvas itself. So you don't need to start doing what you probably already do, I've got to say, copy and pasting, putting it into ChatGPT and getting the results. You can actually do that now in Kendis. Our AI, by the way, is called Charlie. I should have mentioned that. Please don't ask me why it's called Charlie, but it's a cool name. Charlie by Kendis is the AI that we're using. I'll hand over to you, Shaq. Do you know why it's called what? Do you know why it's called Charlie, by the way?
Oh, still don't know. Thank you. It's a cool name. I agree.
I
So
like it. Okay, I'll stop sharing and hand it over to you, mate.
thank you. Hope my screen is visible. So let me move the zoom on the side. Yeah. Okay. So we go to the objective screen here, and you will see this Charlie icon here, and this Charlie icon kind of triggers the experience to create the objectives with the help of AI. Like Justin mentioned, normally you would think about beforehand in the PowerPoints, you need to think about which features are linked to different features and then build the objectives. So let's start with this one. So let me
Are you
start with
sharing your
the,
screen, Shaq? I'm sorry.
oh, I thought I was sharing. Let me try again one more time. This one, is it now visible?
Yes. Now it is, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
maybe
So
it's just me. Thank you.
no, so this Charlie icon, this will only be visible once you have enabled the Charlie AI in Candice, which I will go after I have shown you the demo. So we see this in each team group icon, and when you click that, this wizard comes up. This wizard shows us like a few options here. You can start with like a default behavior is that we expect you would select the features And using the features, Kendis AI will automatically create the objectives with the description and summary. There are few options here. If you want description, you can keep it like this. You give the number of features. I'm just going to get the 5. And then you can also give an additional guidance. For example, I want objectives in, you know, if you provide certain context like what kind of work you are doing or anything what you want AI to be kind of thinking about it. In this case, I want objectives in Spanish and description in English. Let's see if it understands that. There are also other options. So by default, the objective style is outcome focus, and this is the example. You can also switch to the delivery focus. So then it will kind of be designed in that language. Same way, you can go with the descriptive or compact, means larger text or smaller. There are also advanced settings, which is more like description, company name, team descriptions. You can try it out, these things, and see how it impacts your final output, right? Let me go to the next features. Since I started my flow from team data warehouse, Candice has automatically selected the group by team and the focus is on the team data warehouse. I can select one or two or all of them. In this case, I'm going to select all 17 features. And I can also go to the stories if I want to, or just back here. Next, I will go to this next flow. Once I do that, now it's going to the AI, it's trying to generate the descriptions from there and the titles. Okay. Once it is done, it's not going to be very long. You see, it has now, if you focus here, that title is in Spanish and description is in English. Okay. It has grouped my features automatically based on the relevance and provided the, the title there. If I want, I can also say that just change back, okay, sorry, to kind of, change back to kind of English or regenerate or anything else. I can just, and also edit them here. So once I am happy with these ones, I can just say create objectives. I am happy and it will automatically be created here. My objectives are here, my features are here, and my description is here as well. So this is kind of a very simple and easy way to just create the objectives from with the help of AI. Now, if we go to the PI objectives, this is like, again, let's say 5, and I'm just gonna, so by default, you see, it did not select any feature. So if you're using custom group, it will not select any team grouping. However, you can use any sort of grouping here, for example, based on the parent, like which is your initiatives or portfolio epics or anything like that. So in this case, let's go with the shopping cart system and maybe a couple of features from this part here. And now if we try to go to the AI, it will use now these 7 features and it will try to split them into 5 objectives. So number of objectives will be driven based on kind of your input, right? So now it's kind of accelerate online purchase, conversion and satisfaction. This is like the features related to it and so on. Okay. And same way, I can just kind of create it into the Canvas. Okay. So this is easy and simple way to create your objectives and with the help of Charlie AI. Okay. So should I then maybe I can walk you through? Yeah, go on. Just gonna say
I'm
something.
I'm getting a lot of questions, Shaq, about how to set up this. And
Okay.
is it live? Nobody believes that it's live. So I think
Right. Okay.
and
Thank you.
somebody has put their hand up, but we'll come to if you can answer that first, Shaq,
Sure.
and then we'll go to the hand raise.
Right. So this is live. So if you go to this, I mean, first of all, maybe we'll start from here to the Candice screen. Okay. So this Candice AI is only available to the Orview users at the moment. And I mean, if you're not sure whether you are Orview or a premium cloud or basic cloud, these are the icons. If you see them, it means org view subscription is available to you. So your super admin, this part settings is only available to the super admins. So you need to contact your super admin and they need to go to this AI tokens configuration screen, and they will see kind of the option to enable it. Once you enable the AI, then you will see by default, Candice has given a good number of complementary tokens so that you can start your journey with Candice AI. So as a super admin, next step should be that you should go to the group allocation. You can go with the users. I would recommend going to the group allocation. For example, pick any of the groups, just allocate, set the number of tokens. So for example, I'm saying 9,000 tokens. I can go with equal distribution, which means that based on the number of users, it will divide the tokens and give them like equal number of tokens. Then I can also pick the custom distribution, which means that I need to divide these 9,000 tokens based on kind of, like, yeah, each user, what they need. So two steps, your super admin needs to enable the AI, and then they need to give you the tokens. Once this is done, AI is enabled in your organization for the users, right? This is how. And once it is enabled, you come back to the Candice. In the objective screen, you'll see this icon automatically, right? So that's like the simple step to enable it. You're mute, Justin, if you're saying something.
Thank you very much. There's also a couple of questions. I'll read them out for you guys
Sure.
because just for ease. So there's a question in relation to objectives. Is it grouping features under a single objective or by itself based on the feature details?
Correct. Yes, that's what it does. So it kind of, let's say in our case, we selected 20 features and it automatically grouped them based on the relevance. So if we see here, it find out the related to the online purchase, checkout, shopping cart management, enterprise data synchronization. If we look here, it shows like sync reports data. So it uses the automatic grouping, then kind of create a summary as well as a description, which is like outcome, value, and success based metrics that it kind of using these details, it put them together.
Okay, thank you. And also there's another one. What happens if Charlie does not show up in Kendis? It's along the same lines as is the AI feature available to all users? I think you have answered that, haven't you? It's all view users only, rather than the premium cloud and a basic cloud and so on, right?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, all good. Thank
Yeah,
you. So,
okay, great.
and
Thank
what I
you.
have shown you is live in kind of already in the production. Once you enable, you'll see that. I'll jump to the couple of other features which are very soon coming up, just to give you highlights that in which areas like the uh, more features will be coming. Next one is the risks. So same way when you are creating a risk, you can just start with the generate with the Charlie AI, or even if you start with the basic one, you will see the Charlie icon here. So once you click there, you can describe your risk scenario. This is, for example, enterprise architecture team is not available to finalize the integration and so on. So just kind of in the natural language, you describe your scenario, and then AI will process that scenario. Based on your description, it will propose a risk title, like, it needs to be blocking this one. It will come up with a description as well as mitigation actions. It will also kind of suggest the probability and impact. You can change that, leave it here, or if you are not happy, you can also provide an additional context. For example, add another mitigation action for sprint one. Let's see what it does. So you can regenerate that. So it should keep everything as is and just add this additional mitigation action to this part. So it has just added this one. Once I'm happy, I can just say that use this context and it pre-fills the information here. I can still change the stuff, like if I want to set any certain resolution date, status, and so on. I can select those things. I save it. My risk is created here. Okay. So this is a very easy and simple way. Another thing which is useful here is that once we have gone through a little bit of the PI, maybe during sprint one or any time when we are reviewing over risks, there is also an option to analyze it. So in the analysis, it will use all these details like the status, signee, number of work items, history, chat, everything, and it will provide a comprehensive, like a detailed analysis of that. So it's now looking into what is it this risk is about, what has happened with the mitigation action, and then it provides you quite extensive this detail here, right? If you're happy with this one, either you can copy to clipboard or you can just put that as a comment. You can modify these things if you like. You can also tag your users here if you want to. For example, okay, still trying to find that the rate here. And then you can just send that. So it will be yours. You can, every time you generate the summary, you can easily copy that into the command so that you have a full track. This is one part. Another thing which I will quickly go through. So I'll just gonna show you a few quick things into different areas so you will understand in next couple of weeks what additional capabilities will be available. So while creating the dependencies, let's say I'm just gonna be using something from here. Let's try this one and maybe this one. So this is my standard way of creating a dependency. These are my dependencies, and then I can ask help from Charlie. I can provide a context, or if I just don't bother, I just click on this icon and I can see that based on my feature or story and this iteration and the team, it has provided a summary and description. I can again the same way I can refine. If I'm happy, I just use this context. My description and summary is here. I save and I can just view it here. This one. Okay. And as you probably know, the Kendis extension is already available in Jira and ADO. So these dependency descriptions that you create will be visible here. And in near future as well, you will be able to trigger kind of the AI analysis from the extension as well. If you want AI to analyze and give the commands the same way, like I showed you for the risks, this one will be available here as well. So from extensions or plugins, you will be able to interact with Kendis AI, which is Charlie as well. Next, I'm gonna quickly show you, hope I'm not boring, but this one is this collab boards, right? So Kendis collab boards are available from here. Um, and I can just pick any collab board. And this is an empty collab board. And I can start with a template builder, right? So out of the box, there are very limited templates because we want people to kind of create the templates they want. There are some samples here. I'm gonna start with this mad, glad, and sad uh, retro template with additional column or commands without, yeah, okay. Let's just go here. So I can just ask any, these are example, for example, SWOT analysis, brainstorming sessions, anything. So if I go here, now based on my description, dynamically it is proposing this template. If I like it, I just go here and let me zoom in here. So it has created the template for me and I can just like see here with some samples as well, like, so it's easier for your teams to kind of create these templates. So you can create any sort of templates with the sticky notes and you can work with that. So once the sticky notes are created, you can then use AI within Collabboard as well. So for example, if you want to translate that, rewrite custom prompt, I'm just going to use the Spanish again. So it will just kind of translate that to Spanish. I can just say that, just extend that, break it down, bullet point, whatever. So you can interact through this custom prompt. You can trigger any interaction with the AI and your sticky note will be updated automatically. Once you have done this retrospective, or any brainstorming session, you can then click the second icon, which is AI analysis by Charlie. You can ask Charlie to create the summary, just action point notes or retrospective summary. I'm just going to try with this analysis. Since it is empty board, this is just a kind of a demonstration based on your actual data. It will propose this one. Once you're happy, you can just say add to the board and the summary will be created here at the bottom. You can also um, modify that for session 2 or whatever, and this is available for you here, the one. So you can then get these dynamic summaries from your sessions and notes or anything like that. And you can also use multiple times here. For example, I have generated this one. I can also kind of resize, edit, whatever. And then I can also use, for example, just give me action notes, action points. And then it can do a second analysis and add to the board and simple ones. Then it will be added to the board as well here. Okay. So this way you can use kind of the multiple, you can create dynamic templates. You can use AI within your each sticky note, and you can use AI to summarize the work. So that's kind of few, and this is not it. I mean, it's going to be available very soon with the sprint reports, Scrum of Scrum summaries, and many other places in Kendis.
So it's part of the journey, isn't it,
Yeah.
Shag?
Yes,
That we're
that's right.
on.
Thank you. Thank
Shag, if I may take you back to the objectives, just because there were some
you.
questions that came in.
Mhm.
So one of the questions was, can we ask Charlie to do SMART objectives? And kind of related as well, can they also recommend business value for the objectives?
Um, I I think yeah, I think this is a good one to add. We can add that to the feedback. Similar way, like in the risks, it is proposing a probability impact which results into your risk level. I think this can be added. I mean, if we ask that, we can try it out, and perhaps it will put that in a title or summary. You can try to interact through this prompt like a chat window, so you can try it out. It might not. I haven't tried it out, but possibly it could be. But as a flow, I think we can add that to the feedback, that you can ask Charlie to also suggest a business value plan.
Okay, okay, thank you. And also, what happens when we have an objective that is implemented by several Scrum teams, different
Mhm.
features for different teams?
Yeah, so at the moment in this flow, it is per team. I think like the risk case, the direct creation of an objective, and that you can say that then you can go with a single objective flow. At the moment, it's in the visit, but I didn't show that because I didn't want to kind of repeat the same way. But you will be able to create a single objective, and I think then you will be able to go in more details with that objective, that if you want it to be in multiple teams, what sort of features, so it will give you more experience, this sort of experience like it is here for this view. So we can also take that as a feedback
Okay.
and add to the backlog.
And then if you can go on to the tokens, please, if
Yeah.
you don't mind.
Mhm.
And the question from my good friend. You mentioned complementary tokens. Is there a monthly allocation of complementary tokens? And followed by what happens when the complementary tokens runs out?
So complementary tokens are calculated based on your subscription. Like, for example, it's kind of divided per month multiplied by remaining subscription period. So if you have, for example, 6 months, so then, so this is the token. What you see is not monthly, is for the uh, whole duration of your subscription. If you have 12 months, then it's for 12 months. Now, if you run out, you can always click on the purchase button. You can purchase that or reach out to the sales team and then they can arrange a separate, if you want to purchase through, P or something like that. That's something that, just, yeah, it can be helped. But you need to purchase then once you run out.
Okay. Well, it's not free. AI is expensive, as everybody knows. Everybody understands, I'm sure.
Mm.
A good question though. The ratio to tokens generated, what's the sort of guidance for that? How many tokens get generated, for example, if I create an objective?
So I think it's actually not much. It's not using too much. So for example, if we see here, like usage monitoring, yeah. So for example, it used the last time when I objective created the objectives, which were like 15, 5 objectives, about 10, 15 features. It took only 4 tokens. So roughly one token is one objective with 3, 4 features. But with the PI reports and more and more things, it will, yeah, the usage is relative. But in objective case, it is, yeah, just repeating one objective, 3, 4 features is one token.
Okay, thank you. Kind of related, isn't it, Elliot? What is the cost for Charlie when tokens are exhausted?
So I think let's go to the purchase and yeah, so in $10 you get 25,000 tokens. So it's really in that sense not very expensive in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. It just sounds a lot, doesn't it? There were these thousands of tokens, but it's like one of those countries, isn't it, with thousands and thousands, and actually it's just $1. There are lots of questions coming in. If it's okay, I'm going to move on. Maybe Shaq, we can revisit some of these questions as we go on. But if I move on to the presentation, just so that it doesn't hold us back in time. So thank you very much, Shaq. Let me share my screen. What you saw there was that we have got the PI objectives, the creation of the PI objectives already out. And the other things are going to come out, as and when. We're talking weeks here when they actually come out. They've been implemented, but they're testing through everything as we speak. What will happen is that we will learn once they are out. So we will learn how much context to give objectives. You talked about business value. Is it just a case of it wants the description and the title, and it can work out business value from that? Is it that actually it needs to look at all of the other objectives and compare it with each other? What is it that it needs to look at to be able to get the business value? So things like that we'll be learning, and we'll be learning in those specific contexts that you saw in there. So going back then, inside the PR planning, we've got the contexts which are already defined, dependencies already defined, risks, objectives, exactly the same. So that's just the first step. And obviously, as I say, we're understanding that. But still, there are some gaps, aren't there? Because, and that's the journey that we're on, but it's gaps that are in explaining, for example, to senior leadership what actually happened. In the PI planning, you can give them counts. So these are how many features, and these are how many dependencies and objectives. But what stakeholders actually would appreciate that, and that's enough for them. They actually just want to know what all of that means. So something else that we've got released as well is PI planning report. You can find that that's out at the moment. You can find that under more, and you'll see once you have AI enabled, you will see AI Hub, and it will actually live in there. If you click in there, the very first one that we've got is obviously PI planning report. So you will just generate a report from here. If I do that, let's see what happens. Do that here, it's loading. I can go off, right? And that will still be loading on my board, just in case it takes time. And then when it's fully fully downloaded, then you can always refer back to it. You can go back and go into your AI Hub, into the saved reports. I'm actually, just for the sake of time and everything else, I'm going to go into my report here. Now, just bear in mind that this is an earlier version of it. So some small things might change, not drastically at all. But what we've tried to do is to use the different contexts that we've got in the PI plan and create a report. And when we were doing this, we realized that, okay, there's reports for stakeholders, but there's also reports, for people monitoring how many dependencies this PI versus last PI, how many objectives were being completed, how many features are being completed in the PI. So there's various different levels of reporting that's needed. The first one that you'll see is the PI planning summary, and we'll go through all of this, so don't worry about it. But the second one is teams, and then we've got objectives on this one. It may be that you'll have different tabs, but this is the one that I'm going to show you right now. For the first part, you will, of course, get the number of teams that were involved, the number of features that were brought in for the PI, the numbers that are planned, that are unplanned, and also the carryovers, the ones that came in from the previous PI, the ones that have got stories that have been completed, but yet the feature is still open. You'll see things like objectives at a glance, milestones. You can even open all of this up and see the specific milestones in here, the dependency hotspots, so meaning the teams that have got the most dependencies, and of course, we get an AI report. Now, those are just sort of high-level numbers that I think you kind of have to give when you do a PR planning report. It's not enough just to have a summary. So we give those high-level numbers, and then with the different contexts, AI provides this executive summary in here. It also provides things like the planning highlights, areas needing attention, and decisions needed before the first sprint. So it's worked out all of the pulled in from various different contexts, and AI has done that itself. If I scroll down further, I'll be able to see the health and planning quality, the AI score again, and just, justification for the AI score. The dependencies, yes, we've got the number of dependencies, and we've actually got it quite well now in the PI planning area of dependencies on the program board, where you can see we depend on and they depend on us. So we're trying to simplify, put it in human language, what all of those numbers mean. And with that being done, we can then feed this to AI, and it's already working out that logic. We've got the risk analysis. Again, we just haven't listed all of the risks, but we will show you the statuses that you have set. Obviously, I've got a Rome status here. And again, we've got the counts in each status, but we will list the ones that you deem high risk. So we'll list them in here. We'll have all of this other information, and then at the bottom, we'll have recommended planning actions. Now, I can't speak for how accurate this would be, because it really does depend, as all of you know, I'm sure now, it really does depend on the context that you feed it. So if you, oh, we don't use this in Kendis, or we don't use objectives, but we want AI to be able to work magic and work out what it is that we need to do, then you're not going to get a very good result. Of course, it will give you its best, but it won't be as accurate as if you put all of those elements in Kendis, or at least certainly allow AI to access that information. So this is the executive summary, and you can actually download this. There we go. If I go to Kendis and go to the AI Hub, saved report, if I go into here, here we go. So you can export as a PDF, and these are the saved reports. And we've got the various different tabs. So we've got this planning summary, the teams, which I'll go in a second, and we've got objectives, as I say. So you can export to PDF page by page. So I guess it sort of depends who you're going to be sending it to for what it is that you export. And the export is quite good. It looks very similar to what it is that that you're looking at. So it's quite a decent export. So you can send that out to whoever needs to see what it is that you've done in your PR planning. The second tab that we've got is Teams. And again, we'll provide an overview, and you can filter to all teams. You can jump to a team, and we've got the sort of bare information that we think, again, high level, because we've already got it in Kendis. So we don't need to then just give you exactly the same view. But what we've tried to do is split the 3 different areas. So we've got what the team committed to, what hasn't been planned, and also the coordination risks. So if you've got multiple dependencies between other teams, AI will give you the score of it. And if you want to see more detail by team, then you can actually open the team up and look at all of the high-level statistics in relation to those teams. So because we've got all of that information, it would be wrong not to include information about the team, and of course generate AI. I think if I open that up again, you'll see that there's also the planning assessment that's been given by AI as well. So that would be there. And lastly, just quickly, we've got the objectives, and again, the value alignment and risk. So this is AI calculating that from the objectives that you've got on your boards. On a high level, we'll just provide this information, but the good thing about this is that there's various different filters that would apply, and when you apply the filters, the actual information, or if I go to a team, let's go to a team, the actual AI generated part will update to whatever that filter is. So it will be able to calculate what those objectives are in those filters, and then give you a report based on that filters. So very useful. You've got that now. It's and that's why we kind of wanted to do the webinar now as well, so that when you have your PR planning, which I'm sure a lot of you are still going to be doing, if not already, you'll be able to generate this report, and at least you can refer back to it at any time. But please, please give us your feedback on this, because this is, you know, the more feedback that we get, we can make it more specific to your needs in relation to how AI either calculates it, or what you want to visualize. Because there's not a defined way of working on this. So we'll be learning through you guys. So that's it in relation to the PI planning report. And let me show you. So this is coming up next. So if I come to this view now, part of what we're doing is that we're going from a single um, view to actually a big picture, because it still is a little bit fragmented, isn't it, when you're just doing one PI at a time. And as most of you know, we've tried to solve it with the all views, where you can look longer term and you can answer the questions like what's happening across PIs, whether it's in my team, whether it's across projects, across products, longer initiatives. So that's across the PIs and maybe across arts as well. Now, one of the things that we realize that we really desperately need is the ability to have a team collection. So have a team as an entity. Because once we've got the team as an entity, then we can say who the members are. We can give the capacity, which I'll talk about in a second. We can align, people's calendars and have a master calendar. We can even, with this calendar, it would deduct automatically the story points that the teams can do every sprint. You can plan longer term. So if I show you this, what's in progress, I have to say, is that we've got 3 levels here. We've got the general team setup here, where we will define what this team does. Again, we can put this team in the context of AI, feed it into AI. And then when we start looking at all of the others, it will already know the context of that team to be able to deliver the most accurate output that you need. So define what the team is, define the calendars and dates. This is mainly to feed the capacity, define the members, their roles that they play in your team, the abilities of the team members, and then you'll be able to, bearing in mind if they've got days off on calendars, this will automatically deduct the story points that you set as a baseline, so you don't need to manually go in and do that all the time. You just rely on their calendars. And of course, then we can keep your historical data as well. So we can look to see, and we can also let AI know what your historical data is, and maybe it can go into the forecasting side of things as well. So predicting what teams are able to do with all of this historical data that we're feeding it. So that's the team setup. On the next level is the PI. So across PIs, what is it that this team delivers? How does it look? So this is PI Q1 at the moment. I can look at past PIs, and I've already got the sprints set up as well for this particular PI that this team is in. Which means when I've got all of my stories in the backlog, I can see how it relates to features already. I can see how it relates to, maybe you've got work items in your ADO or your Jira, or even just the roll-ups of objectives, whatever it is. But you can see what you've planned sprint by sprint on a team level. I won't go into the ins and outs of it, but one nice thing I really like about this is the ability to do sprint demos. So you can actually do a sprint review in here. You set up what you would like. You have a QR code so that people can scan that, and they can actually give feedback during your demo. And the feedback will all live in here, and you can action all of this. You can say, well, actually, this is a bug, or this is an enhancement. This wasn't in the requirements. Or you could actually create news stories, wherever it may be. So there's a lot going on that one. So that's on a team level, and that would let us have the context of the team and obviously be able to enhance all of the other areas that we've got. But then we've also got batches as well. Now, batches is one of those, for those of you that don't know, it's a flexible container. So you will have your products or your projects that you're building, but in this moment, you'll have to build a project in Jira or have a clever Confluence page or Excel sheet to be able to see what's going on it, because you've got huge list of features and epics and God knows whatever else. So with the batches, you're able to create a container for whatever it is, whatever type that you would like will make sense to you. And in so doing, you can do things like, put the finances in it. And actually, when the items are being completed inside a batch, you can put financial fields in those on those items, and these will all roll up on the portfolio level. You can have a roadmap for all of your products or your projects. You can create phases and link items or sub batches in those phases. So there's a lot. And again, all of this is just so that we can provide you with additional context of what it is that you're building. And when we have AI actually inside of these batches, then you'll be able to get a summary of what is happening to your specific batch. So to your specific product, rather than going here, there, and everywhere in your Jiras, in your ADOs, everything will live inside your batch group here. I hope you're still all with me. There's a lot of talking. But one of the things, one of the good things about this is that once we have all of those these areas plugged, so the teams collections and the batches enhancements as well, once we have them plugged, we'll be able to identify the gaps in between them. And in filling in those gaps, I think it would help improve all of the various areas that they're all coming in from. One thing that we've also got coming up, and this one is coming up a lot sooner, and I think it's going to be released in a couple of weeks, is OKR report. And I'm going to let Shaq actually demo that. It's, again, we've already got objectives out there on the global objectives, as we call it, where people can put in their strategic themes, people can put in their OKRs or key results underneath those strategic themes. And then now we just want to have more reporting in there, and also, of course, introduce AI in there as well, so we can summarize in the right context. I'll hand over to you, Shaq.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
I can't, but I got shouted at when I said that the last time. So somebody else, please answer.
Oh, okay. I was quick to dismiss that. Let's see again.
Yes, I see it now.
All right. Thank you. So at the moment, in Kendis, if you go and click here, you will see the OKRs. Again, it is part of the OrgViews platform, and you will be able to create strategic themes. What we are doing with this release is that there is another layer which is called themes and portfolios, and you will be able to kind of create a higher level strategy, which can be for a department, it can be a line of business or anything, and that can, like, all their goals can sit within that portfolio. And this way it can also group multiple different strategic themes in it, so it's kind of one layer above. For example, in this demo, I have created this next gen tech innovation. I have two themes. These are my two themes which are contributing to it. It instantly gives me the average completion. I can go to an individual strategic theme where I will be able to see my OKRs, my groups, my teams, and my key results, and so on. Let's start with this team portfolio level dashboard. So when we go here, it will give us a quick summary of what is happening across all different strategic themes. My completion themes, velocity, and so on, like completion. There are a number of different, widgets available here. We'll also have like the health status, themes level progress, what is completion, and then the objective and key result level completion, and so on. So if you have like multiple different uh, uh, themes, objectives, key results, as an executive, as a senior management, you can just come here and you can focus on the like overall health of it. Then there is also an easier way to navigate the whole tree. So there is like a tree view. So this is my next gen portfolio. I can go to the theme level. It has two themes, and then I can see my next level, which is my objectives. These are my objective groups, sorry. And then within objective group, I have my objectives. I can zoom out a bit, and then I can see also my key results. So I can have my whole tree automatically shown to me, starting from a very top level. And at every place, you will see this percentage completion is rolling up. For example, this key result is contributing to this objective, and these three objectives are contributing back to this data governance collection or group, and this is contributing back to my team, and so on. So this 33% is kind of average of everything together. There are different ways you can group them by assignee, by status, and so on. Conscious of time, I'll not go into all those details. Same way, you can also go to now a single, like you can also navigate again here. And let me quickly go to this theme, which is a single theme view. And here you will be able to generate an AI summary. Okay. So it can look data from all different angles, uh, create this nice summary for you. You can copy to your clipboard, or you can add to the updates. When you add to the updates, this is an update which is available here. You can see that your executive summary is kind of added here. So this is a view that helps you to kind of track your goals, your objectives, your key results in a very easy way, and multiple different kind of the widgets are available here. Also, automatically, there is this health calculated, for example, on track, delayed, you will get these kind of numbers, and also based on your manual status. Same way, you can also track your team level, like if what is the percentage of the objectives and key results assigned to a single person or team, and so on. So this is kind of another layer. Again, you can also just navigate the objectives and key results in the tree view. This time we are also looking here, and these objectives and key results are also editable here. So while you are viewing them, you are able to make all those changes and kind of track that and engage. So it's kind of very easy way to review and yeah, discuss and track the progress, and the time period and so on is also here. There is also roadmap, progress. These are things which are kind of already available within a single theme. So essentially, this is perhaps a good view if you are already using it. This is at the moment, it's just a list view, and this will be transformed together with this kind of list view. So you go to the list view, it will show you the same stuff, but all that dashboard is kind of all new there. Okay. This is, I think we are right on time, hopefully.
No, that's okay. You're perfect, Jack. And
Thank you.
Shaq, I think because there's a lot of information on here, isn't there? I think this is the next webinar, isn't it? That's up. Is on the OKR report.
Hmm.
So we'll be showing this in more detail later. But thank you very much, Shaq.
Thank you. I think a lot of features like I showed on the PI level is going to be coming in the next couple of weeks along with the OKR report.
Awesome. And also, just lastly, there are terms and conditions on the when you go in. Shaq didn't show that, but on the first page, when you enable AI, it's kind of like a toggle button. And in that toggle button, I think you have to accept the terms and conditions. And you can actually download the terms and conditions. So if you do need to get extra permission or whatever to use it, then please download it and send it to whoever you need. So unfortunately, that was, so once you've enabled it, then of course, I don't know if you can have access to it. Maybe that's something we need to enhance, but yes, certainly it will be there when you allow access to AI. And of course, if you can't use it, then you just don't switch on the toggle and you can still use Kendis. Okay, I think that's about it, isn't it, Shaq?
Yes, thank you very much for everyone.
Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. If you've got any extra, uh, I don't know, any extra advice or any comments to make, please email us at team@kendis.io or email Shaq and abuse him. But yeah, please do give us feedback as well, because as I say, this is kind of a green field at the moment. It's not that we're guided by anybody. So you might as well give us feedback so we can tailor it to use cases that are actually being used. So please do provide feedback. And I'll stop gassing and I'll let you continue with your day. Thank you very much, guys, and speak to you soon.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.